he is in his prime. His mental acumen and his physical abilities are now at the same place. Kyler Murray might have the greatest, quickest, short space speed I've ever seen in NFL history. No, I'm not playing. Barry Sanders comes to mind.
Of course.
He took big steps and was quick as hell. Kyler Murray takes little steps. Every single one of those steps is a micro decision you're allowed to make that your opponent can't. Kyler Murray's doing that in manipulation, not only with his feet, but with his eyes. This dude is doing more intel per step, per play than anybody else at the position. What does it add up to? This team is taking the training wheels off. All respect to my homeboy, Larry Fitzgerald, but they don't need a babysitter anymore. Larry is not on the roster for, I think, that reason. I look at this team as fully mature now because their young leader is acting that way. Freak. Let's head to Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is coming off a blowout loss, and his commitment to the team has been called out. But that's not it. His former teammate, Jermichael Finley, has expressed his issues with the Packers star in the past. And now he has more to say. Take a listen to this.
This is the National Football League. Each offseason, you got to work like it's your last season. And I just don't see a work ethic in Aaron Rodgers that I have in previous years. And actually, you can see it right through his helmet. The eyes and the face tells everything of the personality. And I just don't see it, that NFL hunger and just feel hungry to go win another championship.
So, Acho, you agree with Jermichael Finley's criticism of Aaron Rodgers?
I do to a point.
To a point? What point is that?
At the point in which you start assessing people's corneas and you start reading into the irises and their eyes and whatnot, you start reading into all that. That's when I'm like, okay, you might be doing too much.
Yeah.
However, Aaron Rodgers isn't as dedicated this season. And again, I don't think that's very debatable. He spent his offseason. He usually spends off seasons in Hawaii, but this one appeared excessive. He never is typically contemplated retirement. I'm going to break this down for y'all in a very real football way. When I was in college, my goal, be an All-American, be one of the best 3 to 9 linebackers in all of college. I came out with Luke Kuechly, Dante Hightower, Bobby Wagner, so I had my work cut out.
Boy,
came out with probably 3 future Hall of Famers at the position. But here's what I knew working out going into my senior year, y'all. I knew this, so I said, okay, everybody in the nation is working out from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Everybody in the nation is. So, Emmanuel, you're not getting better than anybody working out from 6 to 8. Everybody's doing that. We talked a lot about relativity on this show. So while I'm getting better, if everybody else is getting better at the same pace I'm getting better, I ain't getting no better in context. So it's the work that I'm doing while other people aren't working that's separating me. Aaron Rodgers, he was not doing the work this offseason that others weren't doing. Thus, I don't think we're seeing the same separation. Yes, Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure, was throwing the ball at times, and he checked out on his vacation like most other people do. But it's the work you do while others aren't working that separates you. Y'all, don't think you can go to your job from 9 to 5 and think you're going to be better than anybody. Don't think you can do the minimal requirements in life and think you're going to be better than anybody. It's the work you do while others aren't working that actually separates you from everybody else in your industry, in your job, and in this life. Aaron Rodgers ain't been doing the work that others weren't doing, and I think that is what has become apparent.
Oh, man. You agree? So you do agree with Jermichael?
I do. I agree with J-Mike. He went too hard, but I agree with him.
He went so hard, it made me disagree with him.
Okay.
Like and that's a weird place because at first when he started talking, I was like, okay. And then, like you said, you start reading people's eyes between the helmet, and you could tell in the week 1 eyes that he can't win the Super Bowl that same year. The hell
you're doing a lot.
What the hell you talking about? You better buy a lotto ticket. You better be at every gas station across America doing Powerball if you can see that damn forward in the future. But you can't, Jermichael Finley. I respect you, but you got a gripe with Aaron Rodgers. This ain't the first time Jermichael Finley has tried to come.
He got beef. We know
he got beef. He got beef. I don't know if it's banquet beef. I'll tell you that story another time. A lot of teammates have banquet beef. You brought the wrong person to this banquet, and they like me because I'm... Okay, anyway, I went through that. Here we go. Let's talk about this situation. I'm going to ask you a question, Nacho. This is trivia. I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but you only one here, damn it. Where did Aaron Rodgers work out in seasons past, in the offseason? Okay, it's a really rhetorical question. He works out at Proactive, which is out here in L.A., way out there, right? Well, all them stars be working out at. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers was there this year, or not. But you know what is interesting? People paid attention to where Aaron Rodgers was on vacation this year, but I wonder, those same people, did they pay attention to where he was on vacation in years prior? Maybe he still got the same work in, because the narrative, we're looking at everything. You're under a microscope because you're causing commotion in Green Bay. It's funny that narrative can get away from you. I disagree with you, Jermichael. Aaron Rodgers has responded before. Narratives get away from you. Peyton Manning had a narrative, first in, last out. Peyton Manning was first in, last out. You know who else was first in, last out? A lot of sorry-ass quarterbacks, too. A lot of them. First in, last out. A lot of them.
That's real.
Come on, man.
That's real.
We've been there.
Real.
Like this whole I outworked you. I hate when people do that to me, because I'm like, look, you can work the hardest and someone else can work hard as you. But this whole you can work the hardest and you're by yourself, we all have the same amount of time in our day. No matter how rich you are, how poor you are, how busy you are, how lazy you are, we all got the same bank account of time, 24 hours in a day. So if you want to spend all 24 of your hours playing football, okay, but don't act like somebody can't tie your ass. Mm-hmm. Somebody else can do 24 hours too, but they may not get the same results. I push back on this because Aaron Rodgers looks like, to me, a guy who just had a bad game. Jermichael Finley. Do you know that Aaron Rodgers actually had a worse game last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And what did he do after that game? He came back and gave you 4 touchdowns and 131 passer rating the next game. Why don't we give him at least a game to respond like he has in the past before we start saying that week 1, I looked through his eyes and could tell he is not committed and won't win the Super Bowl this year. Got to bring in one of Aaron Rodgers' teammates, his former teammate, Fox NFL analyst, Greg Jennings. Oh, Greg, you got some questions to answer. Do you agree with Jermichael Finley's criticism of Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think from a spectator's perspective, yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. You can agree, you can disagree. You can draw an analysis of what you feel like you saw. And if that's what Jermichael saw, that's great. I think what we all can agree on is he wasn't prepared, period. This entire team was not prepared for what happened on that football field. And the reason why I can say that there's some of what Jermichael's saying that I can pull from, but not all. And the lack of preparation is where I feel like I could see where he just was relying on how it's always been in the past. Well, you got that jump shot, you got that step back, you got that one move, oh, I'll do that. It didn't work this time. Oh, shoot. Is that in relation to why I wasn't here, or the lack of preparation, or the lack of time? But I will say this, we've all played. We've all had guys, if we weren't that guy who was held out, who's drawn attention to themselves because of a decision that was made, or a statement that was made, or what have you. However, we all also have wanted to guard against what happened to Aaron Rodgers in week 1. And that is when you make a statement the way that he made a statement this offseason, and you say and you make all the demands and you kind of fight for what it is you want, you better be ready to play. When you call out teammates, when you point the blame and it's not directed at yourself, you better ball out when the film is rolling, when the teams collide. You better not be the reason why we lost that game. And that's what Aaron Rodgers was. And that's what he didn't do. He was the reason they lost, along with a lot of other people, but he's going to get the main attention because he garnered the most attention in the offseason. And so when I look at that, I look at a player that's like, oh, shoot, yes, I'm going to bounce back. Because we all fear that. A guy who gets paid, their number one fear is, well, I don't want to be the guy that got paid, and all of a sudden I'm not that guy, that same guy no more. They're gonna think I don't have it anymore. They're gonna think I don't have that same edge, that same fire. Things are different, but that doesn't mean the expectation of your play from even yourself is going to be different. And it was for Aaron Rodgers, and I think that is what's so alarming. That is what we were like, oh, shoot. Yeah, he's had a game like that before, but he ain't never had no offseason leading up to a game like this before, where all the attention was drawn to himself because of himself. So with that, yeah, you got to take away a little bit. It is one game, but it's a game that leaves a little stain because of all that led up to that game.
Now, G, I know a couple things. I know J. Mike and Aaron Rodgers got beef. At least they had beef.
Hey.
And so I know J. Mike probably got a little too much seasoning on this take. Just a little extra pepper, a little bit too much cayenne, maybe too much chili powder. However, I have to disagree with you, Greg, when you say that the Packers weren't ready. This is a problem with narratives in football. I've said this before. A defense gives up a ton of run yards. Oh, they're soft. A team gets blown out. Oh, they weren't ready. Aaron Rodgers wasn't ready. Because as we roll the highlights, the second interception, the pocket was incredibly clean. He just threw it up to, I don't know who, maybe he threw it up to the Angels in the outfield and thought they was going to come down with it. When you talk about that first interception at the goal line, Aaron Rodgers, you know better than to throw that pass. Your team and you had already marched all the way down the field. Y'all were only down 17-3. You scored there at 17-10. You score again on the next interception at 17-17. So I don't want to say that everybody wasn't ready, because Aaron Rodgers gave up 2 bonehead plays, only 12 possessions on an average football game. He handed 2 possessions away to the Saints. Rodgers wasn't ready. So it is on Aaron Rodgers that they got blown out. I agree with J. Mike, my dog, Jermichael Finley, in the aspect of Aaron Rodgers.